There you go. Sorry. Go
No
for
biggie.
it.
No thing. Okay.
Oh,
Ah, look at that
little fox.
fireman.
Oh my God.
This is yesterday at the
Oh, that's at your birthday. He got at her birthday. He got a fireman outfit.
That's her birthday.
yeah. Okay, and then
And
that
I
was
didn't notice any cake in my email, Mr. Kramer.
uh, oh, was it your birthday too? It was good. No, they we had friends baked and brought us a German chocolate cake.
Oh man, just make me suffer.
Oh, I ate certainly too much of, and I feel a little bit sick, but not so sick that I'm not thinking about the fact that it's in the fridge right now. Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, right. I'm playing with translations of this term. Okay, so this is highly provisional, and that's why I put this in I put the normal one that we may adjust in the parentheses. But hey, everybody, what's the Tibetan name? The thing that we sometimes call the four abandonments that may or may not be four abandonments. The four correct efforts, maybe. Yeah, say again.
Young Dak Pongwa Shi.
Yeah, Yang Dak Pongwa Shi. What are the right? Super. What are they? What are the four?
Give up the bad qualities you haven't developed yet. Give
Yeah.
up the ones you already have.
Super.
Take up the good qualities you don't have yet, and reinvest in the good qualities you do have.
Yay! In order, you get an extra piece of imaginary cake.
Yum yum.
Good. Excellent. Okay. Give the Tibetan name for the four legs of the miraculous. What do they refer to? And name the four.
Dutro ki Pangfashi.
Cool. What does it refer to? What does it mean generally speaking? Before you give me the four, what are the four legs of the miraculous? Like, what, as an idea, what's so miraculous? Do you get, what's a miracle?
I mean, basically, it's about meditating on the nature of reality, and you get out of samsara if you follow these four things.
Yeah, I think my sense is that it kind of means miraculous concentration. Right? Miraculous Tingenzin, which, you know, we like to abbreviate. So it would have been nice if they come. Did I put the four here, or did I just say that here? Yeah, right. Yeah. In fact, Kedar Tempa Darge adds the word Tingenzin to Zutral, right? So he says the four legs of miraculous concentration. So that is helpful. What are the four? And then why four legs? This is just musing. This is not homework per se, right? But
it's a stronger foundation than 2 or 3 or 1.
Yeah.
More stable.
Exactly. That's why it's so hard to push over cows, I guess. I've never done it. I would never do it. I know people do that. There's an American thing about pushing over cows. I've never done that. I'm proud to say, even though I'm from Florida, I never once pushed over a cow. I'm very proud of that. Okay, what are the four?
Aspiration.
Cool. Yeah.
Effort.
Oh, aspiration. Yeah, just for fun. Whoops. Let's see if I remember. Yeah, aspiration to what?
Apply the antidotes.
To have that meditation.
Apparently, it means to apply the 5 antidotes. Or sorry, the 8 antidotes to the 5 problems. It means the intention to apply the antidotes to the 5 problems. 2, you said already, Gil, say again.
Effort.
Yeah, to achieve single-pointed concentration. Sorry, 3, the third leg that supports your miraculous meditation.
Your mind. your state of mind.
Yeah, that's true, right? They just said sem. And this was the one that implied like past life. So it wasn't exactly clear. It may imply past life. And I looked into it, Geshe-la, and I'm still not totally sure, right? We had this what was it? Ketel? Yeah, it seems like maybe it comes from the past. Oh, Keto. It may be from a past life or maybe from past meditation, but in any case, you can say like something about the state of mind that you have from having previously meditated, whether it's in this life or the past life. It seems, what's the fourth?
And then once you have that, then you apply the analysis.
analysis. Single pointed
Yeah,
analysis.
Tim's also right, because he said once you have that, you apply the antidotes, but it's analysis on the 8 antidotes. So yes, and yes.
So Ben, one of the thoughts I had about number 3 was, the quality of meditation takes birth, like when you become that master, because of the previous one. I wonder if it was sort of like because of the first 2, then you become a master. So it's not necessarily taking birth from a previous birth, but the things you did previously to get that created number 3.
Totally. Yeah. And that's what seemed, in a sense, that's what seemed most intuitive to some of us at the moment. But Geto just happens to be
right.
A phrase that is so commonly used in the context of past life meditation. But it seemed like there were some ways to translate it that kind of like fudged the line between the two, right? The good qualities of your mind from the past, and then
but if it was from a past life, why do the first 2? Right? If the first 2 don't have any effect on allowing 3 to arise, then
maybe you need them to bakchak sepa, right?
Yes.
So again, you could still, I don't know, maybe they all feed into each other, but right, I don't have it settled in my mind. While we're at it, sorry, this is the big one, but it's always a good review, and it happened at this point in the text. So let's do the 5 problems and 8 antidotes. What's the first great problem of meditation?
Lay low. Instruction.
Lay low.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Got me on my knees. This is right. The worst of them, the most insidious. What do we do? What is the antidote to how many antidotes?
5. 4.
4.
Thank you. 4.
I'll stop you there before you keep counting lower.
4.
Yeah, good. What are they? What's Depa?
Having faith about it, attraction to it.
Cool. I like the second answer. We got told not to say maybe faith about it yesterday, but it's true. I still think of it that way in my mind also, but right. Attraction also, like you said, Depa, and then?
Wanting it.
Knowing the benefits.
Yeah, right. Depa is knowing the benefits or appreciating the good qualities of meditation, wanting them. Dumba. The third of the antidotes to Lelo.
The first problem.
Put the effort in.
Yeah, effort. Great. Number 4.
Cirque du Soleil.
Say again.
Practice ease. It becomes easy.
Don't mind if I do.
Practice.
Yeah, great. Great. Number 2 of the problems.
Yay, forgetting the instructions.
Yeah. Forgetting the instruction maybe means forgetting you were supposed to be meditating at all. Tibetan?
Drenpa?
Nepa.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Right. Okay. What do we do about that?
Bring the mind back.
Yeah. Bring the mind back. And I heard Dremba and I heard bring the mind back, and I didn't hear the other implied meaning of Dremba yet.
Sheshin?
No, the other implied meaning of Dremba. Sheshin's is Dremba's best friend.
It's remembering and pulling back.
Yeah, remembering and pulling back, right. So maybe, yeah, maybe like keep and recall, or recall and keep, something like.
And wasn't it also, remember, I mean, that it was not forgetting the instructions per se, but it was losing the object.
Right.
Yeah, right. The
Yeah.
instruction as in your teacher told you to think about kumquats and
Exactly.
yeah, almost exactly. You're exactly right. I'm approximate. The third problem?
Don't do anything.
No. Oh, well, no, that's the.
Not applying the antidote.
No?
Good.
It's just noticing whether you have, well, you're not noticing if you have
Back in mind.
agitation or dullness.
No, it's having agitation or dullness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Utpala, Chinga. You got it. Right. Distraction and dullness. What do you do about those?
Something that doesn't fix it.
Session, paying attention.
You detect it.
Yeah, Christina Katika said it in Tibetan a moment ago.
Session,
Sensation.
Yeah, Sheishin, cool. Tokbe Sheishin, noting with Sheishin is the way it was in our text, which was cool. And then what's the fourth problem?
When
Action when you don't need it.
not taking action.
Yeah, not
Not
applying
taking-
the antidote.
Yeah, great. Tibetan? There's a,
DJ.
cool, yeah, great. Right, great. What should you do about not applying the antidote? Do J, yeah. Oh, you do me J? Why don't you do J? Great. And what's the fifth problem?
applying antidote when you shouldn't. Or
Yeah,
don't-
Yay.
Leave it alone.
Great, yeah, and the fix is leave it alone. I just think it's cute. By the way, if you look at the symmetry of the Tibetan here, I'm gonna put this on one page for a moment. You see how the
Yeah.
fourth problem is the eighth antidote, and the seventh antidote is the fifth problem,
Yep.
which is cool for, I just think it's cool. It just makes me think about, meditation and how you need a teacher, and there's no advice that's perfect for everybody. You need a teacher who knows what you're going through and where you're at, because one piece of advice can be exactly the wrong piece of advice for someone somewhere else in their practice. Or it could be the perfect piece of advice for someone somewhere else in their practice. Thanks, guys. Okay, cool. Boss Lama?
Yay, good job, good homework.
Thanks,
I must have been that chocolate rush. Okay.
Agreed.
If it was me, it would make me mindless. Okay. Now, I've been struggling. I was struggling. Your text looks like it's going down the home stretch, but it's got we got a lot of things to jump over. So these are these 9th through the 12th of the 37 qualities of enlightenment. And by the way, he doesn't stop with the 37, like I said.
Okay.
He throws in some very obscure ones. I think he's just trying to impress readers that there's so many different impossible to understand qualities of how to get to Buddhahood. So these are called the, hello?
General question, boss. Like, why? I'm a little bit confused about why he brought up the 37 here. He started this by saying it's shared with the higher and lower way, but he still saved it for the upper part of the middle way school. Do you have any feeling about why we're hitting this now?
I think he wanted to throw in the 37, but he didn't want us to misunderstand and think that they're not practiced by the Hinayana. That's all. Okay. My big worry is, does that have something to do with why he left out the first 4? And I still can't I still can't resolve that. Either he forgot, or somehow they are exclusively Hinayana or something. I don't know. And he didn't want to add them here. I don't know. It deserves chedo, right? It deserves further investigation.
Okay.
Why do they say chedo? Because the Lama wants to go on with his other work. And he says, you guys check it out. Okay. It's the same here. All right. So Zuchu Kikamashi, we're on the 4 legs of miracle legs. This whole discussion of the 5 problems and the 8 antidotes came up with the first one, which is called aspiration or something. Okay. So, and then we went off on a huge tangent. He said, you got to know all these, by the way, well, anyway, yeah, you got to know these 4. The first one is Dumba, okay, what we call aspiration, relates to the 5 problems and the 8 antidotes, okay? And they're all 4 are called Semse Chikpala Rigpa. All 4 miracle legs are described as Semse Chikpala Rigpa, which means
How to contact single pointed
yeah,
meditation.
how to make contact with ekagra, okay, single pointed state of mind, which means totally focused state of mind. But each one is described that way, but each one has a different noun in front of it. This one's called aspiration. And apparently it has something to do with being willing to work through the 5 problems with the 8 antidotes. So that one's clear, but we still have 3 more to go. And this whole long discussion of the 8 and the 5, we just got through the first miracle leg, but we got to get to the other 3 miracle legs, which are effort, mind, and activity. Okay, effort, mind, and activity. So what do those refer to? We are beefing up his explanations whenever they are obscure. And if it's me, as we did earlier, I would include it in the text, not even as a footnote, because I think it would be distracting as a footnote. It'd be one of those books where the footnotes are much more than the text, which is tough on the layout people, okay? So, okay, we got 3 more to go. Let's go see if we can find them. Okay, we finished, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where's that? This is still inside of, we're still inside of a commentary by Ketu Tempadagye, okay? And there was the first one, the Dumba one, okay? There's the first one, the Dumba one. Then we have a pile of footnotes to the footnotes with the 5 problems and the 8 antidotes, okay? We got through those. Now, here's the second one. Sundula tene semte chipala rekpa. What's that mean?
Yeah, making contact with single pointed meditation independence upon effort.
Yeah. And then we had the third one, which is called Sem in your text. Sem, just Sem. Here it's called Sempa, which means kind of like master, but it doesn't say Bodhi Sempa, okay? And then it said Ketop, and we were trying to, you gave me homework to figure out whether that meant possessed from birth, like Ketoki Shirab. So I spent like 3 hours on it last night. Okay, and it's not clear in the end, it's still not clear. There's nobody who explains the Ketop that I can find anywhere. But it's mentioned twice. Gyaltsab J mentions it and Ketu Tempadagye mentions it, okay? But there are other descriptions of it. And here's here's one, okay? So you get three versions of the number 3. Sometimes it's called sem ki, sometimes it's called sem de pe, and sometimes it's called sem pe, okay? Bakyang, we call bakyang. What's that mean? Bakyang, with just the letter ba, not with a prefix letter. Bakyang means, bakyang is an idiom that means just the letter ba by itself, okay? So you get 3 versions of this one. Sem, sem pa with a bakyang,
Okay.
and then sem pa with dao pa, okay? All right, here we go. And here's another reference to it. Look, this guy, which is, I forget who it is, somebody from the Tengyur, he calls it senpei, which is a mental function of attention or something like that, okay? He doesn't call it DPA. He calls it bakyang. So this Tengyur author calls it just PA. And our author called it just sem.
Right.
Didn't
Okay.
you say sem ki day? What in sem
Yeah.
ki day?
Yeah. Sem ki tingenzen meaning. Sem ki se chik tu rekpa. Okay. All right. And he does not explain it. Okay. He does not explain it. He doesn't explain why. This guy, which is Panchen Sinam Drakpa, who's a famous textbook writer from somewhere, forget. Anyway, he says all this stuff is described in Kuntu, which is either Tsema Kundu or Dole Kundu, probably Tsema Kundu. Pramana Samuchaya, could be Shiksha Samuchaya, okay? And he says, let's look at Kuntu's definition of these, okay? According to this textbook writer. Please read, and I'm not going to clean it up, okay?
Yeah. Kuntu le, Dumbe Tingen Zinkang Shena, Kangu Parche Pala Dene Sem Tse Chikpa Nile Rekpao.
Yeah. What does aspirational meditation means? It's based on Kupa Chepa.
Yeah, based on reverence or
yeah, like, a respect for the idea of getting to shamatha or something. Okay, it's a kind of, you know, he's explaining aspiration as it's something you admire. Okay, that's his definition. That's all. Okay, so now here's the second one, which is related to effort somehow. Okay, go ahead.
Tsundrugi Tsingen Zen Kangshena Kang Gyuntu Jorwa La Tene Semtse Chikpa Nila Repao.
Yeah, and I would say it's a temporal progression. So Gyunta Jorwa means you keep trying, you keep chipping away at trying to get to focus, you know, single-pointed shamatha, okay? So that's Sundru. That's applying yourself with effort, okay?
Like consistently, like in a stream?
Or... Yeah. And a Jorwa here, apply yourself, okay? Yeah. Now, here's the one that we want to resolve, that I spent trying to resolve last night, okay? Here we go.
Sembe Tingen Zin Kangshena Kang Tingen Zin Gombala Dene Semte Chikpa Nila Repao.
Yeah, I guess I would say that, notice this is Semba, which just means to direct your mind. It doesn't have anything to do with master, okay? And this is maybe an older reference. He says, what is it to focus the mind? It's if you've gotten used to meditating And I take it to be better than the last one.
Yeah, right. They seem similar, right?
Yeah, the last one is, the first one was kind of like the first of the antidotes for laziness, you know. Depa Dumba Tsowa Shinjang. Depa Dumba Tsowa Shinjang. You like it, you want it, you work on it, you get good at it. Okay, those are the antidotes to Lelo. So I think it kind of relates to that. So the first one is you're just building up respect for the practice. And then you want to start it. So you start applying yourself. And then you get good at it until you can focus your mind. And hopefully the fourth one's going to be sort of like you get really good at it or something. Here we go. Please read. Yeah.
Sorry. Jupe Tingen Zin Kangshena Kangshengi Tsembe Churab Tunam Parjepa La Tene Semse Chipani La Rekpao Shesung.
What's the essence of this sentence? And we had it the other day. What does it mean to examine? Okay, examining concentration. You have Shengi Tembe Chu.
Yeah, the teachings from other people. You've received teachings from other people, and you.
Yeah, somebody else gives you clarifications, which make divisions that you hadn't made before. Number jipa, and based on their further clarifications, you get to a single pointed state of mind. I think you could sell these as a progression. Okay, like you go back to your teacher and you say, "Here's my experience," as Ben Kramer said in his homework. You go back to your teacher and you say, I need more help on this because this is not going so well, or this is good. So to me, these four are a useful footnote presentation for the four miracle legs, okay? Because the names of the four miracle legs are not helpful at all. Here they are from our text: aspiration, effort, mind, and examination. Okay, and now we got a clarification on the mind one. It's really sempa, which means learning to focus your mind. Okay, so this semki is misleading, and the sempa with the dao is totally misleading. Okay, because that means a master. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay. So I like this. We should confirm that which Samvicaya it comes from. I suspect this is a paraphrase, which is going to make it harder.
But we like that it says master, right? Because we want it to represent, well, it's not great, but we want it to represent a progression. So how strong is DPA in terms of mastery?
I don't think, first of all, it's not normal to have sempa by itself. So it's already suspicious.
Bordering on mistake.
I would go with this one. And by the way, Kirin Tempa Darge, by tradition, in his old age, his eyesight was failing, and he used to use toothpicks to keep his eyes open. And don't forget, he lived in a time when there were no eyeglasses. And that's why the carvings of the Kagyu are so huge. They're like a meter long, So that's another take on it, okay? Yeah. And maybe Dr. Kramer can check and try to find it there's a couple of kuntus. Shiksa Samuchaya by Shantideva. There's the Tsema Kuntu by, I forget, Pramana Samuchaya.
Master Dignaga.
Maybe, and then there's Dode Kuntu by Atisha, I think, and one by Nagarjuna. So good luck. Here's another one. This is Gyaltsab J. He just calls it Sempa. He doesn't explain it. He mentions the Kyeto, okay? And then here's one.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's where we stopped.
He used Bakyang.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Gyaltsab J.
Mhm.
Okay. But he mentioned that Ketop, which is where Kedub Tembedagye got it. But I don't think it means comes from your past life. I don't think so. I think it means just comes from practice. Okay. Okay. Anyway, that's enough time on that. Good luck. We're on to the next set of the 37. Yay.
Cool.
Oh, wait, hang on. And did I find you one more section? I did find you one more section. You want to go deeper?
Of course.
Okay. This is Kedub J.
Okay.
And he goes deeper on these. He goes deeper on these four.
Okay.
Okay. He goes off on a tangent, which is kind of a beautiful tangent, and it has India sources. Okay. So. So let's do it for fun.
Cool.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, this is Kedub J. Start at Chi.
Okay. Chi nam kiengi namba di dak changchub semba gompe tsu jitabu shena.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he's relating a bodhisattva's. I want to get off on the question of, can these 37 be related to certain of the 5 paths? Are the 37 meant to be split out into the 5 paths? Okay, because I was brought up to think the 37 were components of the 5th path. You know, that only Buddhists have all 37. I was taught, well, I read Western books that said these are the 37 limbs of enlightenment, but they're not. They are 37 practices that get you to enlightenment, okay? And then they are traditionally split out into the 5 paths. Some belong to Tsoglam, some belong to Jorlam. And I thought that's really beautiful. If you're gonna get into these 37, it would be nice to clarify where they happen, okay? So Gyaltsab J Kedub J does a good job at that. Here we go. What's that mean? How do, you might ask, how do
Bodhisattvas meditate on, I mean, are we on the topic of the?
Yeah, on these aspects of enlightenment, okay? You know, at what point, but the path to enlightenment, right? How is it that bodhisattvas meditate on these different aspects of the path to enlightenment? Well, here we go. Okay. You can divide it into
Chir Jang Sem Gi Gom Nam Shi Te Moba Yi La Jepe Gom Dang Ngo Jita Shindu Gepe Gom Seni Jesu Jepe Gom Dang Munlam Gi Gom Mo.
Yeah, and all the manuscripts I've ever found of this section of Kedub J are missing the second one, okay? Which is very irritating. It took me a long time to put it back together. Wow. He said there's 4. He said there's 4, and then he gave 3. Wow. And it took me a long time to go find them. So here we go. Generally speaking, and by the way, the purpose of this diversion is to establish at which stage on the 5 paths do you practice these 37, okay? And in fact, it's even broken out to which parts of the Jorlam do you practice certain of the 37? Okay, so that gets sexy. Some of them at Se, some of them at Semo, some of, okay. So that's kind of interesting, you know. Then if you were really brilliant, you could connect these practices to an awareness of the lack of self to objects or subjects, Ida, Pingala, you could do a whole thing. All right, so here we go. The first one is called Merba Yila Chepa, means, first of all, there's a kind of meditation where the Bodhisattva is just aspirating, okay, aspiring, kind of like Dumba, right? Okay. Then the second one is where they get some actual experience of the essence of it, okay, as it's meant to be, Jitawashin, okay. Then there's a meditation that Bodhisattvas like to do where they examine the definitions or the components, okay. And then there's a kind of meditation which is involved with making prayers, okay. And these are all meditative techniques of Bodhisattvas, okay.
Okay. What does this have to do with R4 at the moment? That's not the 4.
You're about to find out. Here we go.
Cool. Just checking. Awesome.
Please lead. Who's checking? Who's checking? Who's your checker? A signed checker person?
Utpala.
Utpala, you choose who checks him.
Adam, please.
Damponi. Kam gompa na lo de tseni yi jitar jitawami ke kevar jesu tumba tsamdu ke we te pernas sok lamdu wangpo nga gompa tabu. Oh.
Okay, so the next group of the 37 after the 4 miracle legs, which we've kind of covered now, okay, is the 5 powers.
Okay.
And after that, we're going to get the same 5 practices called the 5 forces.
Okay.
It's going to be the same 5 with a different name. So what's the difference? Okay, the next group in the 37 after the 4 miracle legs is the 5 powers.
Okay.
As listed in the Yoga Sutra.
Right.
What are they again?
Faith, effort, bringing the mind back.
Hey, we want the Sanskrit.
Shraddha, Kriya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna.
Okay, now English.
Faith, effort, recalling or keeping, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, concentration and wisdom.
Good. Okay. Now, the problem is that in the 37 practices for enlightenment that head you towards enlightenment, the same list is called by different names. Okay. First, the list is given as the 5 powers. Then the next, it's given as the 5 tops, the 5 forces. Okay. So what's the difference? That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm finished with the 4 legs. Okay.
You're saying the same 5 happen twice, and once they're called.
Yeah. Look here. Here they're called the 5 powers in your text. Okay. It's not bolded, right?
Okay.
Here they're called the 5 powers.
Right.
13 to 17 of 37. Okay.
So the 5.
Now let's go find 18.
Right. 10 of the 37 are the 5.
Yeah. Now here's your next group. Way down here.
Hey.
The same 5
Okay.
listed as the 5 forces.
Okay.
So what's the difference? Okay. And
Right.
that's what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
So I'm past, we skip. We're done with the 4 legs. Okay. For better or for worse, that's all I can give you on the 4 legs. Okay.
I think it's better.
Where were we? Dang. Okay, we're on to the
Gangponi.
5 hours.
Yeah, sorry, I derailed us a moment.
Yeah, here. Tambone, so the first one, which is supposed to be kind of wishing meditation of bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas have 4 meditational modes. The first one is called a wishing mode of meditation. What's a wishing mode of meditation? They're not able to achieve the actual state of mind, okay? And we had this use of Senyipa in words text last night for $20.
Definitively, really.
But what did it refer to?
Specific number, wasn't it?
Yep.
No, it meant you really are in a hell.
Yeah, good. 20 bucks per word, okay? Yeah, it was the Nangwat Senyipa of a hell realm. The real thing, not just someone's telling you about it or you visited it. So here it means you are not able to get to the real state of mind at the first stage, which is called wishing you could get there. Okay. Rather, J-Tun is the opposite of Senyipa. An approximation.
Okay.
An approximation. Okay. All right. So when the bodhisattva is trying to meditate on certain qualities, and he can get close, but he doesn't get the real one. He gets an approximation of those qualities. We call that the Wangbo.
All right.
And it's at Soklam.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. At Soklam. Well, or for
accumulation.
That's super sexy. That's super sexy. Now we know that we're starting to feel the difference between a Wangbo and a To, because the list is the same. The list is frustratingly the same, okay? So when you call it a Wangbo, it's happening at Soglam, and the guy's not getting faith or meditation or wisdom or remembering or effort in its full form, in its actual form. He's just getting some kind of approximation of it. Okay, got it? That's why the 37 are not qualities of
Buddha.
a Buddha, okay? They cannot be called qualities of enlightenment. They are qualities that get you to enlightenment. That's Roach's new thing, okay? Okay, a lot of people call these the 37 qualities of enlightenment. They're not. They are chok, chang chok sodun. They're heading you towards enlightenment, okay? Got it? You got this scowl on your face, Mr. Kramer. What is that?
We're saying fair enough. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this just refers to Tsoklam, but it means that there's a nice example of it by describing.
Exactly. That deserves a scowl. I'll let you have a scowl for that. That's a wise scowl. Yeah. Berna implies there are different cases. Yeah. You got me there. I was hoping you wouldn't notice that. Okay. Let's go on to number 2. Now, anticipatory translation. What's going to happen at number 2? By the way, it's called meditation of as the essence, Jitawa, as it really is. Okay.
Right.
Meditation of the essence as it really is.
So we're fantasizing at least that it's going to go into Do.
Exactly. Where?
Path of preparation.
Yeah. Let's hope. Let's hope if the pattern holds.
Right.
And what's the Tsenyipa and the Jetumba?
Yeah. What's the actual thing and what's the approximation? Or did we?
Yeah. Now, in the Wangbo, you just got the approximation. What do you predict for? What do you predict for the force?
Well, by the way you're phrasing the question, I'm sure going to say the actual, but theoretically,
I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing.
For these, so some part of me wants to, we're using up all our clever ideas in the first 2. We've still got 2 more.
That's another thing that bothers me. Let's see where we go. Okay. You're very sensitive today. Very good. Okay, here we go.
Okay. Nipa ni kang gompa na lo de tseni jitavar kiewa te pernat soglam du dremba nyer shak gombal tabuo.
Okay, so here's the second one, which is called You Got the Essence Just As It Is Meditation. You got the essence just as it is meditation. Okay, the first one was called aspirational. By the way, this same word aspirational refers to intellectual understandings of emptiness, okay? It's also used in that context, okay? But not here. Now, he brings up the Temba Nyosha Shin. These are which group in the 37?
The first, which is the one that our author curiously.
Yeah, and I just taught them in DCI 11, so they're fresh in my mind. What are they? Close awareness of your body or posture, close awareness of your feelings, close awareness of your
mind,
thoughts, and then close awareness of where reality comes from. Okay, these are called the four close awarenesses, or the four high states of awareness. Okay, he says here an example of a bodhisattva hitting the real thing in his meditation or her meditation is at Soklam, but only with your four types of awareness. Okay, so that implies that renunciation prior to reaching even an intellectual understanding of emptiness is enough to get these four kinds of awareness. The first group of the 37 was meant to help newbies. Okay, and they can do it. They can get these kinds of awareness at Soklam. Okay, even before they understand emptiness intellectually. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. We were hoping for Thorpe, weren't we?
Well, I don't know if we were hoping for that because we wanted to spread over these four.
Yeah. That's true.
How did this connect to our number 2 above?
Huh? What's that?
How did this is Nipa, how did this connect to our...
This was described as you did the meditation exactly as it was supposed to be, rather than an approximation. Okay. And now we're going to get the third type of bodhisattva's meditation, where you examine the qualities or the definition. Okay.
Okay.
And here's our example number 3. Let's do this one. I mean, let's not stop till we finish this one, okay?
Okay.
Let's do all 4, if you guys don't mind. Okay.
Sorry?
Tongue, could you please correct?
Oh,
okay. Let's go. Do you guys want to finish all 4? Yay!
Yay!
Sumbani, maong wa maybe? Maong ba na rangula jungward gyurwe ngumpar tokpa de dang de tseni di dang dio shepa yi la je jing sosor tokpe sherab ki jepar jepao.
Good. So here's the third one, which is called examining the definition, or examining the actual qualities, okay? And here's how he describes it. In the future, when I get certain realizations, okay, their qualities will be like this or like that, okay? Yilache means, bring that to mind and tear it apart with your analytic wisdom, viveka, right? Okay. Tear it apart with your analytic wisdom. Okay. When in the future, I'm hoping to get these kinds of realizations, and they would have such and such qualities. Okay, so just think about, what it would be. And he does not relate it to the 37. Okay? He doesn't relate it to the 37. Let's finish the 4, okay?
Because we've got a toe.
What's that?
Or overtime.
I know we're over time. Come on.
Okay. Shipani, Gopang de Tang de Topar, Yiki Munpar Je Ching, de Chedu Sokpar Je Pao.
Good. So Bodhisattva meditation mode number 4 is called prayer. Prayer. Okay. Just making a prayer. And it's described as, I hope I can achieve such and such a state. Gopang. Okay. I hope I can achieve such and such a state. To get there, I'm going to collect more good karma. Okay. So now he closes his discussion by saying, beginners, there's no meditative state of a beginner which doesn't go through these 4. No beginner doesn't go through these 4.
Okay.
Okay, he says that. All right. And then we're going to relate it more. There's another discussion, okay? And we'll get to there later, okay?
Okay.
Anyway, the big understanding I wanted you to get from here is that this discussion demonstrates the difference, a potential difference between the Wangbos and the Dopes. Okay, that's all. That's all.
Which is what? That
The
didn't.
Wangbos are at a lower level, maybe Tsoglam, and maybe the Dopes are at Jorlam or Tonglam. We don't know. We don't know
I have
yet.
to admit, I'm fuzzy on how that was just clarified from what we read.
Because it's done at the path of accumulation.
Right here, he gave us his example, the Wambo Nga at Tsoglam for the first one.
Okay, but
and he said this is for beginners. This process is for beginners. Okay.
So we're just trusting that when he says Wangbon Nga, he must know that he's differentiating between the Wambo Nga and the Tok Nga. He would.
Well, we're gonna get more on that later. Trust me.
Okay. Attention.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I'm struggling to differentiate the Wambo Nga from the Tok Nga. It disturbs me. Okay.
Right. I feel very much that struggle in my heart.
Okay, good. Okay. I don't think you should write a book where you don't distinguish them. Yeah, and he doesn't. Okay, all right.
Okay. Sashi Puki Dukshin Netok Cham Rida Blingshin Yende Gyempadi Sangye Shingdu Mikte Uwargi Jokun Namdak Shingla Duklarsho Idang Guru Rana Mandala Kaniryata Yami Gewa Di Gewokun Sunam Yeshe Tsok Tsok Shing Sunam Yeshe Le Chung We Tampar Kunyi Topar Sho.
Hey,
Thanks, boss.
I think we found a way to delay your book.
Well done.
But we could do what he did. He did the Tupku, right?
Horse race, right? He did.
Yeah, you can see it. He just threw him out and stopped, But let's do it thoroughly. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Geshe-la. Thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Geshe-la.
Okay, what's up, Nick?
There's a yoga in